afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. We are into late January now. It's the final week of January. We had a little snow yesterday, but the roads are clear now. The track is fast and all that. And got a great show tonight. A young man who's a photographer. I'm going to get to him in a minute. Got to read these great underwriters, and then we will get right to it. So we got Smoke and Ashes Tobacco Shops in Whitman, South Weymouth, Pembroke, Hanson, Abington. We got Whitman Abington News corporate offices. The number's right there. We got the Gun Runner LLC in Middleborough. They support the Second Amendment rights of all citizens. We got Bryant's Auto and Tire Service in Middleborough. We got Battistini's Bakery in Middleborough. We got Carver Jewelers Incorporated, Ronald R. Lyle Delano Goldsmiths right here in the building. We got Pembroke Radiator in Pembroke. We got Vape Solutions in East Bridgewater. We got Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We got South Shore Trains and more in Pembroke. We got good old Dave's Automotive right here on Route 58 in Hanson. I want to thank you guys very much. So on that note, I have this young man here. His name is Devon. Is that it? You're a photographer?
Yes, sir.
You guys may remember a few weeks ago, I had my very first show with 2021 was with a lovely Renee Nicole Nickerson, who is a photographer as well. Well, she's a friend of his, and he liked the show so much he wanted to do it himself. So now you're here with me, Devon, and I want to thank you for coming in and being on Topic Time.
Thank you for having me.
And I've seen your work, and it's stupendous. Now, but you've seen my show, and like what I do with all my guests is I try to, backtrack and find out what they were like as kids and how they got to where they're at now.
Yeah.
So let's do that with you. Now, you're from Rhode Island, the biggest little state in the Union, as I always call it. And from
yes, sir.
The little PSA they do, I love that. It's hilarious, but it's true. So you born and raised in Rhode Island, were you?
Yes, I was raised in Barville. It's like a little woodsy town in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
That no one's ever heard of.
Okay, but it does have an ocean around it, as does the whole state. Or is how far from the ocean is Burrillville?
It's pretty far from the ocean. It's on the border of Connecticut.
Oh, it is. Okay, so it's more inland.
Yeah, it's like all trees.
So even the ocean state has more land than ocean in some parts, and I guess in that part it is.
Yeah, in some parts.
Okay, so basically you grew up there, and when you were a kid, what did you like to do, for hobbies and stuff?
As a kid, I played a lot of soccer.
Cool.
I would explore the woods.
Okay.
With my brother.
With your what brother?
My stepbrother.
Oh, stepbrother. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it really just lots of soccer at a young age.
Cool. You're a sports. You look athletic even now.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, listen. You look like you're rugged, so you could probably still play soccer.
Yeah, probably.
Do something if you wanted to. Well, did you do that? Did you play in a league or anything, or in school, or in town?
I started when I was like 4. I played in like leagues, and then once I got to middle school, I played there, and some high school. It was a year-round occurrence.
Okay, well, you enjoyed it enough. Were you a forward? How?
I was a goalie, and I played on defense.
Okay, so you were back. Okay, cool. Did you get a lot? Just wondering, did you get your share of goals?
I got some.
Not when you weren't playing goalie, but when you were
often.
playing. Okay, but you liked the game. It was fun, and that's what you did.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Okay, of course
I enjoyed
it. And okay, well, in terms of how it got to where you're at now, now you do photography. So when did you start that? When did you start even as a hobby, photography?
As a kid, I wanted to.
Okay.
But I didn't really start doing it. My the grandparents and my uncle were very artistic people.
Okay.
So I would draw all the time, and I would see things differently than other people from certain angles, and try and draw them. But I wasn't that great at drawing.
Okay.
And then 3 or 4 years ago was when I actually bought my first camera.
Wow, that's not that long ago.
No, not that long. Not that long at all. Oh. And then from there, I kind of just took photos of everything, and then I started asking people if I could take photos of them, and then it kind of just took off from there.
Well, some of the pictures I've seen were pretty revealing.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have a good rapport with people.
Yeah.
When it comes to taking their pictures. Otherwise, they wouldn't let you, not to the degree that you take them. And
No.
I wish I had that rapport with people. But that's a show for another day.
Yeah, I've been told by all the people that I work with that I make them feel very comfortable, and I'm easy to work with, easy to talk to.
Right.
And then that helps with the photos that I take, because if you're not comfortable and you don't feel safe, then
yeah, exactly.
It's not a good environment to do the type of photos that I do.
Do you have your own studio now?
I mainly shoot at Salty Lips Studio.
Oh yes. Now
in
tell me
New
about.
Bedford.
Now I have. Now does Renee work there too?
Yes, she currently works there full time.
She does. Oh, that's right. She told me that. Okay. Tell me a little bit. Now tell me what your experience is like there. It's a studio with what are there are models there, and there are new ones being recruited all the time. Is that how that works?
So the owner is Robin Miranda.
Okay.
And I met her like through some like group events.
Okay.
And she is a model, and she's also a photographer.
Yeah, she's gonna do a show with me. She wants to. Okay.
I think.
Oh, I know.
she
Yeah,
should.
we're gonna get her. I have her contact info. We're gonna get her in here eventually, or in
Great.
Easton, either one. But all right. So tell me about what goes on there, though. Exactly. What exactly is Robin Lips? What is it? What's Salty Lips
Salty
Studio?
Lips
Owned
Studio.
by Robin. What exactly is it?
So what they mainly do there is they come up with concepts
Okay.
that they love,
Yep.
and they build costumes, they build monsters, they build sets.
Okay. For films.
No, just for photos and
Okay.
sometimes video.
Okay.
But it's mainly for photos.
Okay. Sure.
And the photos that I do there, I can like move stuff around and like build my own set.
Cool.
And like if I want to use some of the sets that they're currently working on, I can ask if I can use them. And it's really just like one big happy family
Cool.
of artists just
Now it's in
making
Rhode
stuff.
Island, right?
It is in New Bedford,
Oh, it is
Mass.
New Bedford. Okay. Yep. I think Renee mentioned that. Okay.
But it's really just a bunch of artists and people who love to create things,
Yep.
working together to just build what they love.
Right. That's awesome. Okay. Now, when it comes to set building, are you part of that too?
Sometimes it depends on the set. If I'm involved in the project,
Yep.
I can go help out and like build the set, and
Right.
prepare other things like help with carry stuff in,
Okay.
hold stuff
Right. I
up,
mean, you
all
do
kinds
the
of stuff.
physical labor too.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, as a big guy.
Yes,
it's kind of a
exactly right.
given.
Yeah. So when it comes to building a set, I mean, these are like backdrops for models mostly.
It could
Or-
be
or it could be
backdrops. It
that,
could be
or-
like a whole like his living room scene.
I see what you mean.
All kinds of stuff.
Okay. Have they ever now? I interview a lot of filmmakers. Have any filmmakers ever used Salty Lips Studio for for doing a film that was unique and original, that they figured it would be kind of cool to coordinate or collaborate their efforts with Salty Lips, given their reputation? Has that ever happened? Do you know?
I'm not sure if any filmmakers have worked there yet.
Okay.
I know that some of the photographers who work there dabble in videography a little
Right.
bit.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm not too sure if any filmmakers have been working there or not.
Okay. That having been said, do you dabble in videography at all?
Not yet.
Okay.
I would like to
Okay.
start offering video for my clients as well as the photos.
Right. Okay.
But for now, I'm just focusing on the
Still stuff.
photography.
Okay. Now, when it comes to your repertoire photographs, I know you got a large one, right? You think you've taken over 300 or so since you started.
Oh, well over.
Well over 300. Okay, and we'll be looking at some. You got some you're going to be forwarding to Chris, and we'll check them out.
Yeah.
So your repertoire photographs includes models. Does it include like outdoor scenes too, or does it include anything that's just artistic, that's
It's
aesthetically pleasing to the eye, regardless of whether it's meant to be art or just
it's primarily
life
models,
interest? Okay, it is.
but like in my early days of taking photos, I would like walk around Providence, Rhode Island, and
Okay.
just take photos of like buildings and like
Providence is a
random
scenic
people.
city. All cities
yeah.
are scenic. Okay. Well, now you live on. Being that you live in Rhode Island, there's a lot of beautiful scenery down there, outdoor scenery.
Yeah.
Do you ever like just decide to make a day of it and go and take pictures of the beach or people on the beach doing their thing, basically just life in motion, that kind of stuff?
Not really. Like
Okay.
I'll go like you walk around the state and like scout out locations.
Right. Okay.
And then when people come to me saying, "Hey, it's gorgeous outside. I want to shoot something outside," I have a list of places. I can be like, "Okay, what concept would you like to do?" And like we can shoot at these numerous places to
Okay.
fit that concept, and just kind of go from there.
Okay. Do you use a tripod when you shoot mostly or not?
No, I freehand almost everything I do.
That's awesome. See, I took photography in college, and I know that the guy that taught my course was kind of a perfectionist. I flunked the course, and there were circumstances, but I do understand that to some people there's a certain basic premise of photography that requires old-fashioned, going by basically the first concepts of photography using the dark rooms, the developer and fluid. Now, do you do everything like that, or do you do it mostly digitally?
I do everything digitally.
Digitally, okay. Well, I mean that's that works for you. It probably, I guess, economically speaking, it's probably more feasible as well, given in the world we live in now. Yeah. Now, in terms of like clients, do you have a lot of them yourself?
I have a client list that's consistent. Okay. Like I work with a couple models at least once a month.
Okay, cool.
Or twice a month, and then all of the other clients I have are people who are just like regular people. Like it could be housewives or just college students who like want to start getting into modeling, or they just want like a gift for themselves or their significant other.
Right. Okay.
But it's I mainly shoot with my clients on a monthly basis.
I understand. Okay. Now, in terms of getting more clients, do you have a method of doing that? Do you reach out to people online, or do people recommend your services? I certainly would if I know anybody that I thought wanted a photograph.
Oh yes, I get tagged in like posts on Facebook almost every day of like,
right.
Hey, I'm looking for a photographer to do this.
Okay.
They'll tag me in my name, or it'll be word of mouth, and I'll get a phone call from someone asking about my services.
Okay.
And I'm actually currently building a website to start advertising that way as well.
Okay. Now, in terms of like, I'm wondering about other things like maybe sports photography or musicians. Have you ever done anything like that?
I dabbled in sports photography for a little bit when my brother played baseball.
Okay.
He still does, but I couldn't really get into it.
You really didn't enjoy doing sport, even though you love soccer, but you didn't enjoy taking pictures of sports in action?
Yeah, as weird as it sounds.
No, I know. It's not weird. It's just the way you feel. That's fine. The reason I'm bringing it up is because somebody that's talented with a camera has a lot of accessibility to things that would benefit them. If you were able to take sports photographs, and I know people in Rhode Island love their sports. I mean, one day I was in Newport and I was at the library and I was trying to read a book, and I love sports too, but this guy was talking to the librarian about the Georgetown pitcher and his fastball, and I actually wanted to ask him to please be quiet because I was trying to read this book about Idi Amin, and I didn't say anything. But the point is, my thinking is that if you did like it, there's a lot of sports action going on down there. There's always I've driven through Pawtucket and I've seen pick-up basketball games. My hunch is it would probably be kind of cool. Now, what about journalism? Have you ever done any photographs for newspapers?
No, I haven't at all.
You might want to consider it, just an idea. I try to give advice to my guests that'll help them out.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to primarily shoot the boudoir style photos.
Okay. I know you like. I understand. Believe me, the pictures I've seen were very pretty to look at, but they're not going to end up in the paper, I don't think.
Yeah, probably not. But
no.
I like doing those ones because I like to see the look of shock on a woman's face, because almost every woman I know has always looked down on themselves, like, oh, I'm not that pretty, or I could lose 5 more pounds, 10 more pounds. And when they do the shoot with me and they see their photos and I can see their face brighten up, be like, I look like that?
Wow.
And that's the main reason why I enjoy doing that, because just seeing them wow, I'm actually very pretty, when it was there the whole time, and now they actually know it.
That's incredible. You're able that's a special talent, to be able to convince a woman who's feeling inferior that she's actually not inferior. So and that she's beautiful. That's incredible. I love
doing it.
In terms of you've only worked at, you don't just work at the Salty Lip Studio. You do travel around sometimes, you said, right?
Yeah, I'll I'll shoot in hotels or
Right.
Airbnbs, or if a client is more comfortable, I'll shoot it at their home.
At the home. So so the people contact you when you visit them. If obviously with the virus, you got to be careful.
Yep.
But you
always.
now how far and wide have you gone? I assume you've gone pretty
I've
good distance.
I've traveled up to the northern part of New Hampshire.
Okay. Wow.
I did one shoot in New York a while ago.
New York State, or New York City, or just wow.
Yeah.
You told me. So you went to New York City for this?
Yeah, it was for one client who just happened to be there.
Yeah, I know, but it's pretty cool. What kind of shoot was it?
It was a regular boudoir shoot, but
Wow. Huh.
and I actually have a client who wants to fly out from Hawaii to come shoot as well.
She's gonna come it's a woman, right?
Yep.
She's coming here from Hawaii to shoot with you?
Yep, in either May or April.
Wow. Geez, the only thing better than that would be if she flew you out there.
Oh, I know. I would love that.
Well, that's great, though. Wow. Aloha. Well, how did she? Well, so I assume she found you online or through word of mouth, right?
We actually went to high school together, and she moved out there I think a year or two after.
Got it. Wow. Well, that's pretty awesome. Okay. Well, it sounds to me like she's found herself in Hawaii, but she wants the world to see her too.
And she's an incredible artist too. Does body paint for photographers and videographers and stuff.
Wow. Oh, that's great. Okay. All right. Well, so how many days a week do you work at Salty Lips?
I don't really have a set schedule
You
there.
don't?
It's more
Okay.
like if they have the available time and studio space. I'll try and snag it and get my clients to shoot over there, so that way we have more space to work.
Right, because it's easy if you. I mean, you're accessible to it. You don't have to. You never get lost going there because you know where it is. Obviously.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where. I was in New Bedford a few months ago, just taking a walk. Is it right on? Is it on 140?
I'm not sure what.
Is it? I mean, it's got to be downtown New Bedford, right?
Yeah, it's right next to downtown. It's like 2 minutes from there.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, because I was just out there. It was a nice day. I was taking a walk. I just ended up there. I hadn't been to New Bedford in ages, and I just ended up down there. Do they have any? Are they planning on opening any other offices besides the one they have in New Bedford eventually? Do you think?
I'm sure that they will eventually, but for now, I think they're just gonna stay where they're at.
Okay. How many years have they been in business now?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I've known Robin for almost 3 years now.
Okay. Was she doing it 3 years ago?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been at least 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So where have you submitted your pictures besides? I mean, have you ever? I asked you about newspapers. Have you ever sent them? Have you ever done stock photography? You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be something. That's pretty awesome. I tried that myself way back in 1993.
Yeah. I dabbled in that when I first started, and I put some photos on like the stock photo websites to like try and make some spare money.
Of course you did.
On the side. It didn't really work out.
Okay.
But it was still good to like try and start putting in my work out there.
Right. It's obvious you have an eye for stuff like that, so it's pretty impressive. All right. Yeah.
But I've submitted to a few magazines, and I've been published in 3 of them.
Tell me about those. What magazines?
I've been published in Boudoir Inspiration.
Okay. Where are they out of?
I'm not sure what state they're out of, but I know it's in the U.S.
Okay.
I've submitted to Zany magazine.
What was that second one?
Zany, Xany.
Got it.
And they're based out of the U.K.
Cool.
And then another one is called Risque Saucy.
Okay. Sounds like one I might want to read.
It sounds like one every guy might want to read.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they're based out of New York.
Okay. So if you don't, how did they find you? Is that it? Or you submitted to them? I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they pay you for the prints?
They did not.
Okay.
But it was, I mainly submitted them to like see if my photos were good enough to actually be in a magazine.
That's pretty good. That's a start.
Yeah, I was very excited about it.
That's why I've suggested maybe doing local journalism shots too. You know, the good thing about doing newspaper shots, I mean, for the paper, I mean, there's a lot of little newspapers in the area. Probably them are freelance. I used to write for freelance papers. I used to take sports photography plus candid shots for the Bridgewater Independent in Bridgewater, which is in the town of Bridgewater, Mass. because a lot of times those are called fillers, and they're pretty impressive when they're in the paper because it gets people's attention. I mean, I hate to be blunt, but the eye-catching headline of a fatal car accident isn't always the most exciting thing to open up the paper to. But having a picture of somebody sitting in front of a fountain reading a book, something pretty like that's what people like to see. That sells papers. And if you can do it in color, which I guess you can now, didn't used to be so much in the paper, but now there's plenty of color shots in the papers, right? But okay. Have you ever thought of maybe teaching a course in photography at some point?
I've thought about it, but I don't think I would do one anytime soon.
I understand. Okay.
Like I know that a few people have actually reached out to have me help them like learn the basics of.
Okay. Well, it's obvious that you're respected enough so that they'd want to do that. That people.
Yeah, it's actually very nice to hear that people want to learn about what I love and how I do it, so they can follow in my footsteps.
Of course.
And go out on their own and do stuff their way.
Okay. Now, are you married with children at all?
I am not. I am currently very single.
You're single and you have no kids.
None.
So that's pretty. I'm asking this because it obviously frees you up to do your work when you like what you love very much. At some point, maybe you'll settle down. It's obvious that you're meeting a lot of great people out there.
Yeah.
And that's pretty impressive to be able to do that. I just thought, speaking of that, it just occurred to me, and this is just an idea. A lot of times there are dating services out there where they match people up using photographs. That might be something you might. Those are
I've
pictures.
Heard about those.
I know that. I'm suggesting you might. I'm not suggesting you join one. I'm suggesting maybe you could take pictures for one, or maybe start your own. That might be something that you take real good pictures. You take pictures of men and women and say, hey, maybe this person is for you. Just do a little description. And then put it online and see what happens. Just an idea to throw out there.
I've thought about it. Like he making an event where like people fill out a questionnaire. I compare the answers to see who's.
Well, that's right. But you got to use your end would be the photographic end.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just thinking that might be a cool idea for the future. It's just a way. It's just more ways to deploy your photography.
Yeah, and then helping people find love at the same time.
Exactly. What better thing could you be doing for the human race than that?
Exactly.
Okay. So going forward now, we're in the new year. What are your plans? You have any new projects on the horizon?
I'm actually doing an event with Renee on the 27th in February.
Oh, cool. That's exactly a month from now. Tell me about that.
It's going to be a boudoir themed.
Okay.
And
well, are you shooting her, or are you both shooting stuff?
We're both going to shoot the people who join in on the event.
Cool.
Each model is going to get like a half an hour to shoot with me and a half an hour to shoot with Renee.
With Renee, okay.
And there's going to be a makeup artist there too, so everyone can get all glammed up and ready for their shoot.
And where's that going to be?
It's going to be at Salty Lip Studio.
Oh, it's going to be, of course. Where else? Well, guess what, Devon? We're under 5 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Hey, listen, we always have fun on Topic Time, and when you have fun, you pass the time quicker.
That's right.
So what I want you to do, and I didn't tell you this at the beginning, before we wrap the show up, I ask all my guests to look at the camera, give shouts out to people that are going to see it. No, just condense them, and then we'll finish it up. So go ahead.
All right. I'll give a shout out to Robin and Miranda, obviously. Renee for getting me on this show.
Thank you, Renee.
Basically, thank you. My friend Serena, who came with me to the show. Tim Ivorone, my other best friend who's been supporting me since day one. My parents, family, all them, and all the other artists and people who have supported me up until this point. I appreciate all of you.
Okay, that's awesome. So I hope you had fun with me.
Absolutely, I did.
And I hope we covered, the idea is to cover as much as we can about everybody that I interview, from start to finish. Okay, so I just assume your future looks pretty good. You've got a lot going on. You got a project with Renee at the end of February. Just going forward, do you have any bigger plans for expanding your base eventually, or that you can let us in on now, or is it too early to know that?
My goal for
next few years.
The goal for this year is
this year too. That'll work.
To actually get everything up and running to where I want it.
Okay.
Where I can do this full time.
There you go. Okay. Well, the other thing I always ask my guests is if you had fun with me, and I know this is kind of this is kind of rhetorical because you've seen this before. If you know any people that you think might be good for me to interview, have them, text me, call me. You got my digits.
Yeah, I do.
And I always say the stats are that I get 98% of my guests through Facebook. I get the other 2% from word of mouth from the previous guests that I got through Facebook. So that's it. So if you, again, send me as many people as you want to send me, and we'll get them on either here or in the other locations. And on that, you did a great job with me. I appreciate you coming up from Rhode Island.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
And you were wonderful. So on that note, are you ready to wrap it up like we began it?
Absolutely.
Okay, folks. Thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Take care. There we go. Sometimes it sleeps a little. Just likes to play with me.